In this video, I'll show you how to start a JupyterLab session. Go to the toolbar and select the Tools library. In the Tools library, filter the tools by selecting the Any Name box and type Jupyter. Then click Apply. You'll see several JupyterLab options appear. Select the first one, AI/ML Accelerator, ML JupyterLab for this demo. Then click Run. And on the Run Setup page, you can change the name to a shorter name if you'd like and choose a folder for the output. Click Select, then press Next in the bottom right corner. For the instance type, click on the icon and type GPU in the instance type box to filter the list. You'll see all available GPU instances. Scroll through and select the one that fits the workload. For the demo, I'll choose Memory 2 SSD 1 GPU x48. Once that's selected, I'll keep the remaining testing as default, then click Start Analysis. Since we are using GPU, it may take a few minutes for the environment to fully start. In this video, we'll show you how to set up the notebook environment. This notebook requires a Python 3.11 or newer environment. The best practice is to create a fresh virtual environment and register it as a Jupyter kernel before running any cells. In the notebook, we provide command lines which can be copied to the terminal to create the environment, activate, and register the Jupyter kernel. Once that's done, please refresh the JupyterLab page and select Python Rapids 25.08 as this notebook's kernel. Inside the notebook, install the required packages by uncommenting and running the provided pip cells. We also provide a tutorial about how to create and reuse the snapshot on the next session. To create the snapshot, go to DNAnexus here and click Create Snapshot. And the next time you start a new session, just select the Save Snapshot as an input to save setup time. Now we're on the JupyterLab homepage. On the left side, go to your project folder and click the notebook. In the notebook, we provide a command line to download plate 3 and 9 from the Tahoe-100M data for this demo. Just copy these commands into the terminal, go to the home page, go to the terminal, and copy these commands. If you want to download different plate numbers, just replace the number 3 and 9 with any numbers from 1 to 14 because the Tahoe data has 14 files. On the GPU mode, the workflow uses rapid single cell. The first step is pre-processing the data. Here for the testing, we have plates 3 and 9. For quality control, we followed information from the preprint to select pass threshold of quality control and remove low quality cell lines. For pre-processing, we also do normalization, log transformation, and select highly variable genes using rapid single cell. Here is the script covering from loading data, pre-processing, and writing a new and data after the quality control and pre-processing steps. It took 35 minutes to finish this step. The second step is calculating cell embedding. For the PCA here, we select the number of principal components as 300. The third step is visualization. The UMAP is computed on a representative subset to avoid overplotting. So here we sample 100,000 cells for visualization. Then the result is the UMAP plot. Here are the UMAP results after running PCA and neighboring graph construction on the GPU. In the top panel, each point represents a single cell colored by cell line. You can see the distinct clusters forming, with each color corresponding to a different cell line identity. This separation shows that the embedding preserves biological signals across many cell types. In the bottom panel, the same UMAP is colored by plate ID. Here, I've loaded plates 3 and 9. Notice how the cells from both plates are well mixed within the clusters. This suggests that technical variation from different plates is minimal compared to the biological signal.